For 30 years, a mysterious donor paid for struggling students' college tuition. When Steve Harvey revealed who it was, everyone was shocked to discover their school's janitor had changed 47 lives and proved that heroes don't always wear capes. Sometimes they carry mops and have hearts bigger than their paychecks. It was November 2023, and the Steve Harvey Show was preparing to tape a special episode about community heroes when producer Janet Miller received a letter that would lead to one of the most powerful stories in the show's history. The letter came from Dr. Maria Santos, a pediatrician in Los Angeles, and it began with a mystery that had puzzled her for over 15 years. "Dear Mr. Harvey," Dr. Santos wrote, "I need your help solving a mystery that has haunted me since college. Someone paid my entire tuition at UCLA Medical School, over $200,000, and I never found out who it was. The donor insisted on remaining anonymous, but I recently discovered I wasn't the only one. There are dozens of us, all from the same high school in Detroit, all with the same mysterious benefactor. We need to find this person and thank them properly." Steve was intrigued by the story and assigned his research team to investigate. What they discovered was far more incredible than anyone had imagined. The mystery donor wasn't a wealthy businessman, a celebrity philanthropist, or even a successful alumnus of Martin Luther King Jr. High School in Detroit. It was someone who had been hiding in plain sight for 30 years, someone whose generosity had gone completely unnoticed despite the fact that he had interacted with these students every single day. The hero was 67-year-old Robert Washington, who had worked as the head custodian at Martin Luther King Jr. High School for 32 years. While earning a modest $28,000 annual salary, Robert had secretly put 47 students through college, spending over $1.2 million of his own money to ensure that bright kids from poor families could pursue their dreams. Steve's research team discovered Robert's secret through financial records that showed a pattern of anonymous donations to colleges across the country, all traced back to a modest savings account belonging to the school's janitor. But the most amazing part of the story wasn't just Robert's generosity, it was how he had chosen his recipients and managed to help so many students without anyone knowing. For 3 decades, Robert had been more than just the man who cleaned the classrooms. He had been quietly observing, listening and caring about the students who walked the halls of MLK High School every day. "I'd see these kids studying in the hallways because they didn't have quiet places at home," Robert would later explain. "I'd hear them talking to counselors about their dreams of becoming doctors and teachers, but worrying about how they'd pay for college." Robert had developed a system for identifying students who needed help. He would listen to conversations, notice kids who stayed after school to study, and pay attention to which students seemed to have the most potential but the least resources. When he found a student who fit his criteria, Robert would secretly contact their college financial aid office and arrange to pay their tuition anonymously. He would use different aliases and routing methods to ensure that his identity remained hidden. "I didn't want them to feel like charity cases," Robert explained. "I wanted them to focus on their studies, not on who was helping them." The sacrifices Robert made to fund these scholarships were extraordinary. He lived in the same small, run-down apartment for 30 years, drove a 1995 Toyota Corolla until it literally couldn't run anymore, and ate peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for lunch every day to save money. While his students went on to become doctors, lawyers, teachers, and engineers, Robert continued to empty trash cans, mop floors, and clean bathrooms, never seeking recognition or appreciation for the life-changing gifts he was giving. Dr. Maria Santos had been one of Robert's earliest recipients. In 2008, when she was accepted to UCLA Medical School but couldn't afford the tuition, she had received a letter from the financial aid office stating that an anonymous donor had covered her entire education. "I spent years trying to find out who had helped me," Dr. Santos said. "I wanted to thank them, to let them know that their investment had paid off, that I was now saving children's lives because of their generosity." As Steve's team continued their investigation, they discovered that Robert's impact went far beyond just paying tuition. Many of his recipients had stayed in touch with each other over the years, forming a network of successful professionals who all shared the same mysterious origin story. Dr. James Mitchell, now a heart surgeon in Chicago, had been helped by Robert in 2005. I used to clean the school with Mr. Washington after hours to earn extra money for my family, Dr. Mitchell remembered. He would always encourage me to keep studying, telling me that education was the key to everything. I had no idea he was the one who made my medical school education possible. Teacher Sarah Johnson, who now works at an inner-city school in Atlanta, was another recipient. Mr. Washington used to find me in the library every day after school, studying for AP tests. He would bring me snacks and make sure I had good lighting. When I got that anonymous scholarship to college, I prayed every night for whoever had helped me. The most touching discovery was that several of Robert's recipients had gone on to create their own scholarship programs, inspired by the anonymous generosity they had received. I always said that when I became successful, I would pay it forward, just like my mystery donor had helped me, said Dr. Michael Rodriguez, now a successful lawyer who had established his own scholarship fund. I've helped 12 students go to college because someone helped me first. Steve knew immediately that this story needed to be told, but he also knew that Robert would never agree to be honored publicly. The man had spent 30 years hiding his generosity, and Steve suspected he wouldn't want the attention. So Steve devised a plan that would honor Robert while also reuniting him with the students whose lives he had changed. Steve contacted all 47 of Robert's recipients and invited them to participate in what they were told would be a show about mysterious benefactors. None of them knew that their donor had been found, or that they would be meeting him. Meanwhile, Steve arranged for Robert to be brought to the show under the pretense of being honored as Custodian of the Year for his decades of service to MLK High School. On the day of taping, Robert sat nervously in the green room, wearing his best suit, which Steve's team had secretly helped him buy, and wondering why anyone would want to honor a janitor on national television. Mr. Washington, Steve said when he met Robert before the show, "You've worked at MLK High School for 32 years. That's a lot of dedication to education." "Yes, sir, Mr. Harvey. I've always believed that schools are sacred places. The kids who walk those halls are our future." "Tell me, Mr. Washington, what's been the most rewarding part of your job?" Robert thought for a moment. "Watching the kids grow up and succeed, seeing them graduate and go on to college, knowing that they're going to make something of themselves." During the first part of the show, Steve interviewed Robert about his career as a custodian, his love for the students, and his philosophy about education and hard work. "Robert, you've cleaned the same hallways for 32 years. You've seen thousands of students come and go. What drives you to keep showing up every day?" "Mr. Harvey, those kids are why I get up in the morning. Every one of them has potential, and if I can do anything to help them succeed, even if it's just keeping their school clean and safe, then I've done my job." The audience was charmed by Robert's humility and dedication, but they had no idea what was coming next. "Robert," Steve said, "I want to tell you something that's going to surprise you. You see, we didn't just invite you here to honor your work as a custodian." Robert looked confused. "Sir, we invited you here because we found out about your secret." The color drained from Robert's face. "What secret, Mr. Harvey?" "Robert, we know about the 47 students. We know about the $1.2 million. We know that for 30 years, you've been secretly paying for college educations while earning $28,000 a year." Robert started crying immediately. "How did you find out?" "I never wanted anyone to know." "Robert, some of those students have been trying to find you for years. They wanted to thank the person who changed their lives." Steve turned to address the audience. "Ladies and gentlemen, the man sitting next to me has spent 30 years sacrificing his own comfort to send other people's children to college. While earning less than $30,000 a year, he has given away over $1.2 million to help 47 students pursue their dreams." The audience erupted in a standing ovation that lasted over 3 minutes. But Robert, Steve continued, those 47 students are here today, and they want to thank you personally. Robert looked shocked as Dr. Maria Santos walked onto the stage, followed by Dr. James Mitchell, Sarah Johnson, Dr. Michael Rodriguez, and 43 other successful professionals who all owed their educations to the humble janitor. Mr. Washington, Dr. Santos said through tears, I'm Dr. Maria Santos. You paid for my medical school education 15 years ago. I've been searching for you ever since, because I wanted you to know that I've saved over 2,000 children's lives because of your generosity. One by one, Robert's recipients introduced themselves and shared how his anonymous gift had transformed their lives. Mr. Washington, I'm Judge Patricia Williams. Your scholarship allowed me to become a lawyer, and now I'm a federal judge fighting for justice every day. Mr. Washington, I'm Principal Marcus Thompson. Your help made it possible for me to become an educator, and now I run a school where I'm trying to be for my students what you were for me. Robert was overwhelmed, crying uncontrollably as he heard story after story of success, service, and impact. I can't believe this, Robert kept saying. I can't believe you all turned out so well. But the surprises weren't over. Steve revealed that Robert's 47 recipients had pooled their resources to create the Robert Washington Foundation, with an initial endowment of $2 million to continue his mission of helping students afford college. Robert, Dr. Mitchell announced, we've also bought you a house. No more tiny apartment. You're going to live in comfort for the rest of your life. And, added Dr. Santos, we've set up a retirement account that will ensure you never have to worry about money again. The most touching moment came when Steve asked Robert what he wanted to say to the students whose lives he had changed. I want to tell you all that you didn't need my help to become successful, Robert said through tears. You had everything inside you already. I just helped remove one barrier. Your success is your own achievement. What do you want people to know about what you did? I want people to know that you don't have to be rich to change lives. You don't have to be famous to make a difference. If you see someone who needs help and you have the ability to help them, that's what you're supposed to do. Today, Robert Washington is 68 years old and retired, living comfortably in the home his former students bought him. The Robert Washington Foundation has helped an additional 23 students attend college, continuing the legacy of the janitor who proved that the size of your heart matters more than the size of your paycheck. Steve keeps a photo from that reunion on his desk. 47 successful professionals surrounding the humble janitor who had made their achievements possible. It reminds him daily that heroes are often hidden in plain sight, changing the world one act of kindness at a time. Robert Washington taught me that real wealth isn't measured by what you accumulate, but by what you give away, Steve often says. He also taught me that the most important work sometimes happens in the shadows, done by people who never seek recognition but deserve it more than anyone. If this incredible story of hidden heroism and the power of selfless giving moved you, please subscribe and hit that thumbs up button. Share this video with someone who needs to be reminded that ordinary people can do extraordinary things. Have you ever been helped by someone whose name you never knew? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to ring that notification bell for more amazing stories about the heroes who walk among us every day.